Alright, let's talk pain. The good kind. The kind that Elden Ring Nightreign serves up on a silver platter. This isn't your grandma's Elden Ring, alright? No armor tweaking, no stat min-maxing. You pick one of the 8 Nightfarer classes, and that's it. Locked-in loadout, locked-in skills, and a one-way ticket to trial by fire. Each class feels like a Dark Souls boss that forgot it was supposed to be on the other side of the health bar. You're not optimizing gear here. You're praying your muscle memory kicks in before the next hit lands. What makes this even wilder? The weapon drops are totally random, so you're out there with a fixed moveset trying to make magic happen with whatever blade, hammer, or glorified stick the game decides to hand you. But that's the beauty of it. It's not about breaking the game, it's about bending yourself to survive. And some of these Nightfarers, they're downright brutal. Today, we're diving into the hardest Nightfarer classes to master, the ones that separate the legends from the rage quitters. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. You know that feeling when you think you've picked the easy class, only to realize you've basically signed up for advanced mode on stealth difficulty? Yeah, that's Wilder. At first glance, Wilder looks like the chill, all-purpose choice in Elden Ring. Nightreign. Decent health points, solid focus points, respectable stamina. You might think you're in for a smooth ride. But the truth is, Wilder is only as powerful as you are smart. This class is less about brute force and more about finesse, planning, and hitting your timing just right. The real magic lies in the claw shot. This grappling hook is Wilder's signature move, and it does everything from closing the gap on enemies to yanking them around like ragdolls. It's a mobility tool, a crowd controller, and sometimes your only escape route when things go sideways. But here's the catch. If you miss with it, you're stuck in recovery while the enemy lines up their next attack. It is a high-risk, high-reward mechanic that separates the just surviving players from the ones who make Wilder look broken in the best way possible. And then there's the onslaught stake. Once you build into it, Wilder turns from a scrappy survivor into a full-on damage dealer with a literal arm cannon. Pair that with the subtle survivability buffs from Sixth Sense, and suddenly, you're a one-person highlight reel, if you can juggle it all. Wilder demands sharp instincts, clean execution, and constant adaptability. It might look forgiving on the surface, but if you want to master this class, you've got to treat every tool like it's life or death, because in Nightreign, it usually is. Guardian is the class you pick when you want to be the unshakable wall between your team and everything trying to kill them. With the highest base health points and stamina in Elden Ring, Nightreign, Guardian practically dares enemies to try and bring them down. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just a meat shield. Playing Guardian well means being 10 steps ahead of the chaos, reading the battlefield like a chessboard, and making split-second decisions that can literally save a run. Whirlwind is the move you'll find yourself relying on constantly. Not just because it stuns enemies, though that's already clutch, but because it wipes out those nasty miasmas that love to make every fight feel like a slow, poisonous death trap. Clearing the arena for your team? That's Guardian 101. But it is how and when you use Whirlwind that separates a decent tank from a true leader. You are not just reacting, you are shaping the flow of the entire encounter. And then there's Wings of Salvation, the Guardian's ultimate art, and the moment where everything's on your shoulders. This isn't just a flashy slam. It's a team-saving, clutch-delivering, timing-sensitive miracle move. Use it too early, and it's wasted. Use it too late, and someone's already down. But hit it just right before a boss's area of effect nightmare lands, and you turn a wipe into a comeback. Mastering Guardian is not about taking hits. It is about knowing when to take the hit so no one else has to. If you have ever looked at a boss and thought, I don't want to dodge, I want to delete, then Raider is your kind of chaos. This class is all about big hits, big weapons, and even bigger moments. With some of the highest base health points and stamina in Elden Ring, Nightreign, Raider can tank hits and still come out swinging. But don't mistake it for a brainless bruiser. While the strength scaling might make you feel like a wrecking ball, true mastery comes from knowing when to swing and when to hold. The real showstopper here is Retaliate. It is not just a fancy counter. It is a high-risk, high-reward mechanic that flips defense into raw offense. Time it right, and you will not only avoid taking damage, but also stagger your attacker into next week. Miss the window, though, and you're wide open with a 2-ton weapon dragging behind you. That's the Raider experience. You are constantly living on the edge, playing chicken with death, and loving every second of it. Then there's Totem Stella, the Raider's ultimate, and it is not just some throwaway gimmick. This thing drops like a divine sledgehammer, giving your team a serious damage buff and some much-needed cover in sticky situations. But where you place it matters. A well-timed Stella can split a battlefield, pin enemies, or give your squad breathing room for a final push. Raider may look like a one-note powerhouse, but in the hands of someone strategic, it becomes a rhythm game of perfect timing, clutch positioning, and pure, satisfying destruction. Iron Eye is not for the faint of heart. If you are the type of player who likes to stay calm under pressure, land precision shots from a mile away, and carry your team without ever stepping into the spotlight, this is your class. But make no mistake, Iron Eye is brutal. With only 200 base health points, even a sneeze from the wrong enemy can send you straight back to the spawn screen. You are playing on a razor's edge, where every second alive is a test of your reflexes, positioning, and decision-making. What makes Iron Eye so rewarding, though, is the sheer impact you can have when everything clicks. Infinite arrows mean you are never left reloading when things get hectic, and that ranged revive? It is a total game changer. You can bring teammates back from across the battlefield, flipping what would have been a wipe into a full reset. And then there's Single Shot, a skill that turns your aim into a high-stakes gamble. Not only does it pierce armor, but it also gives you a sliver of invulnerability if timed right. That tiny window can save your life and end the enemies all in one clean shot. But here's the catch. You have no margin for error. Miss a mark, misplace your movement, or fire too early, and you are done. Iron Eye rewards those who know how to stay cool, calculate risk on the fly, and make every arrow count. It is one of the hardest classes to master in Elden Ring, Nightreign. Not because it is weak, but because it demands perfection. This is a class for players who are addicted to pressure, who live for clutch moments, and who believe that one perfect shot is worth 100 swings. The Duchess is the kind of class that makes you feel like a genius or a ghost, sometimes both in the same fight. Fast, elegant, and deadly, she dances through danger with precise dodges and razor-sharp strikes. Her passive, magnificent poise turns her into a blur, letting her chain evasive moves like she's rewriting the rules of stamina. But here's the twist. Her actual stamina pool is tiny. So while it feels like you can dodge forever, the margin for error is razor thin. One greedy combo or mistimed roll, and suddenly you're out of breath and out of luck. But what really sets the Duchess apart is Restage. This is not just a flashy finisher. It's a timing puzzle disguised as a damage skill. Restage echoes a chunk of your team's recent burst damage, which means the value of the skill depends entirely on your awareness. You need to know when your allies are blowing cooldowns, when a boss is vulnerable, and exactly when to strike for maximum impact. It's not just about your rhythm. It's about syncing with the entire team, like a conductor calling the final note in a symphony of destruction. That's what makes Duchess one of the hardest classes to master in Elden Ring, Nightreign. It's not just about execution, it's about orchestration. You are constantly managing positioning, stamina, and your team's momentum all at once. There's no brute force here, just brains, speed, and timing. In the right hands, the Duchess doesn't just survive the fight, she ends it before anyone even realizes what happened. Recluse is the class for players who don't just want to cast spells, they want to command them. But don't let the cool title of Master of Ancient Sorceries fool you. This is not your standard mage fantasy. With the lowest base health points in Elden Ring, Nightreign, even a stray arrow can end your run if you're not careful. And that's before you even get to the magic cocktail system, which turns every encounter into a high-speed mental puzzle. You're juggling 4 elemental residues to unlock a menu of 14 unique spells, and you need to know exactly which one to serve and when to serve it. There's no spam and pray here. Recluse is all about precision. The right spell can burn down a mini-boss, freeze a swarm in its tracks, or detonate a combo that clears an entire corridor. But while you're mixing and casting, you're also dodging, tracking cooldowns, and oh yeah, trying not to die. And the beauty of it? When it all clicks, it feels like you're rewriting the rules of the game. Timing a perfect elemental combo mid-fight is less like gameplay and more like performance art. Then there's Soul Blood Song, your ultimate ace in the sleeve. It restores health points and focus points across your whole team, which sounds amazing, and it is, but only if you trigger it at just the right moment. Use it too early and it's wasted. Too late, and you're the last one standing. Mastering Recluse is not just about knowing the spellbook. It's about reading the battlefield, your team, and your own limits in real time. This isn't just one of the hardest classes to master. It's a class that expects you to think like a tactician, cast like a prodigy, and move like your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. Revenant is the class you pick when you want to feel like a mastermind, and suffer like one too. She's not just calling in phantoms to fight for her, she's running a one-woman command center in the middle of a war zone. With only 200 base health points and a painfully low stamina pool, the Revenant herself is a glass cannon's ghost. You cannot brute force your way through fights with her. You have to orchestrate every second. The second you mismanage one of her summons, the whole house of cards can come crashing down. Each summon brings something crucial to the table, and your entire rhythm depends on juggling them perfectly. Helen is your assassin, fast and relentless, perfect for hunting down enemy stragglers. Frederick holds the line and disrupts space with crowd control, while Sebastian is your AoE nuke, punishing anything that dares to stay still too long. The problem? They can die. And when they do, you are stuck on cooldowns, vulnerable and scrambling for survival. Every decision you make with Revenant isn't just tactical, it's existential. And then there's Immortal March, her ultimate. This isn't just a get-out-of-jail-free card, it's your one shot at flipping the entire momentum of a battle. It makes your team invincible for a few seconds, and supercharges your currently active summon. But like everything else with Revenant, timing is everything. Trigger it too early and you waste it. Too late, and your team's already down. Mastering Revenant means constantly scanning the battlefield, predicting damage spikes, tracking cooldowns, and rotating your phantoms like a symphony of the undead. It's brutal, demanding, and overwhelming, and that's exactly what makes it so satisfying to master. Alright, let's talk about Wilder, the ultimate all-rounder in Elden Ring Nightreign's lineup. On paper, Wilder looks like your comfort pick, balanced health points, focus points, and stamina all wrapped into one neat package, but don't get it twisted. This isn't some beginner's autopilot. What really sets Wilder apart is the claw shot grappling hook, which gives you insane mobility and a way to control enemies like a puppeteer. Miss a shot though, and you're basically handing the fight to the enemy on a silver platter. So, yeah, it's a tool that rewards precision and timing. Now, Wilder's Sixth Sense passive is kind of like that subtle guardian angel watching your back, helping you survive just a little longer when things get hairy. But the real showstopper? The Onslaught Stake. Imagine turning Wilder into a walking arm cannon, packing a punch that can blow through enemies if you play your cards right. This combo makes Wilder a nightmare for opponents once you get the hang of weaving offense and defense seamlessly. It's like having a Swiss Army knife for combat, but every blade needs to be sharp and ready. Here's the catch though. Mastering Wilder isn't about button mashing or just running around swinging wildly. It's about squeezing every drop of power out of every claw shot, every attack, every move. New players get some leeway because of Wilder's balanced stats, but the real veterans? They know that the difference between surviving and straight-up dominating comes down to perfect timing and flawless execution. So if you're up for a challenge that rewards skill and finesse, Wilder might just be your hardest but most satisfying class to master in Nightreign. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.